Hi, I'm Layla, and I come from a very small village in Morocco. I was an only child to my parents, but for some reason, I looked totally different from them. And not just them, I was the most unique kid in the entire village. Whenever I'd step out with my parents, people would go crazy when they'd see me.
I'll marry my boy to you one day. You're a goddess.
Growing up, I felt like a celebrity, but I still wasn't really happy. My parents always kept me inside the house and never let me out, not even to play with the other kids.
No, you can't step out. What if you hurt yourself or get a scar? No one's going to look at your ugly face then, let alone marry you.
Instead, they kept me busy with housework like cleaning and washing, and whenever I'd beg them to send me to school, they would just laugh at me.
School? Only idiots go to school.
But you guys went.
Don't mess with me, kid. We're letting you sit at home and work for us for free. And you want to do what thousands of kids hate?
Gosh, they were so unreasonable, and I hated them for this. But I wasn't gonna sit and do nothing. I taught myself how to read and write the basics using Dad's old books. My parents went crazy when they found me reading one day. But just then, some guests showed up, and to my shock, they started bragging about how I could read just about anything.
You see, she's so smart that even the school said she's already at a college level. The principal came to get lessons from her last week.
And Dad crossed the line by saying,
She's almost a doctor. My hand got hurt yesterday and she took care of it. Right, kiddo?
What a big fat liar! But here was my chance to make a fool out of him.
Yes, Dad. Of course I did. Here, let me see it again.
And with that, I bit his hand really hard and he screamed like a little baby.
What can I do? My medical book says that this is the only treatment.
Soon after I turned 12, I could no longer stand being kept inside the house all the time. So one evening, while I was sneaking out, I saw something that shocked me. My parents were adding water to the milk and selling it to the other villagers to make money. This was so wrong. Stop it, you guys. Why are you doing this? Don't you care about other people's health? You can't cheat them like this.
What are you doing here?
How dare you sneak out of the house this late? Get back to your room, now.
Mom pulled me back into the house and tried to shut me up, but I wasn't going to let them fool the innocent villagers anymore. The next morning, I hid inside the barn until the villagers came to get their milk. And as soon as I saw them, I ran out screaming like crazy. I need to tell you guys something. Mom and Dad looked at me in complete shock, and the villagers asked what was happening. But before I could get up or say anything, Dad screamed,
"Oh, Layla. She's just excited to tell you how she's been telling bedtime stories to the newborn calf."
What the what? He told everyone that I could talk to animals, and the animals loved me so much that they even insisted on me sleeping next to them. What? This was crazy. Just then, Mom and Dad took me by my arms and rushed me inside the house. Dad? Are you insane? I can't talk to animals. And what bedtime stories? That's ridiculous. I'm gonna tell.
I'll send you to school.
What?
I'll send you to school if you don't tell anyone anything.
OMG, this was a golden opportunity for me. I agreed to stay quiet on one condition. They had to stop mixing water into the milk, and they had to send me to school after the summer break was over. And they agreed. But then everyone around the village went crazy. They actually believed what Dad said, and now people were gathering around the house for my crazy superpowers. My dog hasn't eaten for days. Can the magic girl talk to him and ask him why he won't eat?
My buffalo is pregnant. Can you please tell me, is she going to have a girl or a boy?
What the actual crap? Just then, Dad came running into my room and started begging on his knees.
Please, just do this once, for me.
I didn't want to, but he wouldn't let go of my leg, and in the end, I gave in. And within weeks, I was the official magic girl of the village who could talk to animals. And when people started coming from far and wide, asking me to treat their sick animals like I was some magic vet, I decided this had to stop. I had no clue how to help them. Later that night, I went to my parents' room to tell them I wasn't doing this anymore. But what I saw shocked the ribs out of me. Mom and Dad were sleeping on a mattress made out of money, and they were talking about me.
We're making so much money thanks to that stupid girl. She's such a fool to think that we aren't mixing water in milk.
Yeah, and she actually thinks we'll send her to school for talking to animals.
And they both started laughing like crazy. Oh my God! I always knew they were greedy and mean, but they'd crossed a line. This was it. I wasn't going to let them fool me or anyone anymore. The next day, when all the people gathered around the house to see me, I acted like I was talking to the cows we owned and told everyone, I hate to say this, but the cows tell me that my parents have been mixing water in the milk and fooling all of you. The villagers looked shocked, and Mom and Dad's faces turned pale. Amid all the chaos, I packed up my bags and ran away from home. After running for hours, I reached an old house in the middle of nowhere. When I knocked on the door, a very old lady opened the door. What do you want? Well, honestly, I wanted her to speak a little faster, but I asked her to let me stay for the night, and she agreed. But later that night, while I was peacefully sleeping, my eyes opened and the old lady freaked me out. What do you want? Why were you staring at me like that? I was kind of scared, but then the old woman told me something that completely shocked me. I knew your mother. Well, now I know her too, and she's a witch who doesn't care about me, but please, don't tell her I'm here. No, your real mother. My real mother? The old woman told me that she was the midwife when I was born, and she recognized me because of my hair and the color of my eyes, because they resembled my real mom's. But unfortunately, my dad, who was a rich trader, gave me away because I was an illegitimate child. This was freaking crazy, because if this was true, then who were these people I had been living with all my life? I needed more answers, but the lady just handed me an address, some papers, and some money. I thanked her for everything and left for the address she had given me, which was in a big town outside the village. I reached the town and wandered all over for days, but I just couldn't find the address. Then one evening, while I was walking by the roadside, I saw a wallet fall out of a man's pocket. "Excuse me, sir." He looked at me, but then he started walking away really fast. What a weirdo. I ran after him and caught him, but he just panicked like crazy. He pulled me into an alley and said,
What on earth are you doing here? How did you find me?
"What? What was he talking about?"
I don't send money to those rats so that they can let you go around like this. That's not why I gave you away in the first place.
OMG, he was my dad? And he was even sending money to my fake parents who acted like they were dirt poor all the time? This was crazy. And then he said he was gonna send me back to my fake parents. No, stop. I ain't going anywhere, and if you dare touch me, I'm gonna tell everyone that you're my dad. I have the birth certificate with me and my mom's photo. This threat seemed to work, and all of a sudden, he turned into this sweet, loving potato.
I'm so sorry, my sweet girl. Papa was wrong to let you go, but now that you're here, I'm going to give you the best life. You just have to keep this a secret for a while, okay?
After that, he took me to an old rugged house and asked me to stay there for a while. But I knew what he was up to. I asked him to take me to his place and tell me about my mom. He had no choice, so he took me to his huge house and introduced me to his wife, but she looked nothing like my birth mom.
Hey, honey, this is my cousin's daughter, and she's here to stay with us for the week.
Cousin? He put a hand over my mouth, and the lady looked at me suspiciously, but then he took me into a room and asked me to keep my mouth shut if I wanted to know the whereabouts of my birth mom. The next day, they had a huge party in the house. Apparently, it was their wedding anniversary. And although Dad had asked me not to attend the party, I sneaked in anyway. And what I saw next shocked me. My fake parents were there, and they were planning to take me back. I was ready to run out of that place when I accidentally crashed into a vase and they saw me.
Oh, honey, we're here to take you back to your home, baby. We've even enrolled you in the best school.
Stop it. I know you people, and I'm not gonna fall for your lies. You're all liars, and I'm gonna expose you all.
What are you doing, you blood-sucking mosquitoes? Go and grab her. What do I pay you for?
I ran around the house, crashing into the party and everything that came in my way while my fake parents ran after me. Then suddenly, Dad's wife exploded with anger. What the heck is going on around here? I realized this was the only chance for me to save my butt, so I told her everything and showed her all the proof I had, and she went ballistic on Dad.
You moron! How could you do this to a small child? You are a filthy rat. I'm gonna kill you, you fat pig!
She ran after Dad with murder on her mind, and my fake parents ran out of there to save their butts. After the chaos was over, the woman divorced Dad and promised she was gonna find my mom for me. And she did. At first, I was afraid that even my birth mother would turn out to be like my dad, but thankfully she didn't. She hugged me as soon as she saw me.
Oh, my baby. Mom, where were you all this time? And why did you never come back for me? My life has been like a curse without you. I was all alone, and no one loved me. No one cared about me, Mom. Tell me, what did I do so wrong that you abandoned me? Oh, honey, when I gave birth to you, your dad told me that you didn't make it. He lied to me, and he took you away from me. If I knew you were alive, I'd have never let you go. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. But I swear, I'm gonna make it up to you. I'm gonna give you all the love in the world and be with you forever.